People, all the pretty people say hi, Jerusha. Let me know that you're in the building. Yes, speak to me. I speak back. So put in the chat, say hi, Jerusha. Yes, I want to make sure I'm streaming in several places because we have a live interview with Miss Andrea Evans-Dixon. And so if you don't know, you're about to find out. And so do me a favor, please make sure you tag two people or share the broadcast. Tag two people or share the broadcast. You and I just became besties because when I share, you share. That's how we change the world. Knowledge is the new rich. Knowledge is the new rich. Arm yourselves with it. So I want to make sure that I'm sharing in all of the places as well. So yes, please go ahead and grab your besties, your business partners, because you don't want to miss this. And you know, I said all year, my new goal is to make sure I bring you the best of the best because I share actionable business tips every Tuesday at 1:30. I do a quick lunch and learn for all the pretty people. I share scripts, hacks, all the things, follow-ups, everything that you need to start a business or grow your current business. And so you're in the right place. If you want some motivation, inspiration, and business tips, this is the page for you. You're my people. So all my people say hi, Teresa. Yes. Hello, Gloria is in the building. Let me give it some shout outs. I see Miss Vanessa is in the building. Hey, Vanessa, how are you today? Good to see your beautiful faces. And then, of course, yes, please, if you are watching me for the very first time, you're just now hearing the sound of my voice, make sure you put newbie in the chat. So I need to know that you are a newbie to me. Put newbie in the chat so I can say hi, newbie. And if you watch the replay, put replay. But if you tag two people, share the broadcast. You and I are best friends. Carla is in the building. Hey, Miss Carla, how you doing? Good to see your beautiful faces. So I got to tell you guys, this is pretty exciting because those that follow me, I show up because I just feel like we need to collectively, we need to do more. We need to show up more. Yes, we need to be our authentic selves. We need to help more people. We need to help people get out of debt, make extra money. And so I want to bring you people that can help you reach your goals this year. And so I promise the pretty people community that, you know what? If I am here every Tuesday at 1:30, you should be here because I put down the goods. I'm going to bring you all the goods. And so I surround myself with other powerful people that want to inspire the world as well. And so today we have a special guest that will share with you, get your pen and your paper out, habits that successful people do intentionally to elevate their life. How many of you need to know these habits? Put in the chat. Yes, Jerusha, I need to know all these habits. Yes. Well, let me just tell you, she is phenomenal. I'll bring her on and I want to give you her accolades as well. So without further ado, my special guest, Miss Andrea, yes, is in the building.
Ah! Hey, how are you? Hello, pretty people world. I am in the pretty people world today. Hello.
Yes, you are a pretty person. And a pretty person is just a person pretty on the inside and out. We're going to celebrate, collaborate, and create great relationships. So if you are a pretty person, hashtag to all the pretty people. I'm excited to have you here today. And I want to tell everybody what you've done and what you're doing. So just a little bit about her, because I know we have some questions that you want to know, right? You want to know the answers. So right. Andrea, she's from Florida. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in financial business. She's worked in corporate America for 13 years in banking, auditing, and financial budgeting. And she left her six-figure executive income to build a successful home-based business in direct sales. So Andrea's passion is helping women become leaders. She is the CEO of Elite Beyond Measure Incorporated. She now uses her incredible ability as a leader and years of experience in business to inspire the world as a multi-published author in the building, motivating the masses as a speaker and as a coach, equipping all who are ready with solid strategies to elevate in business and in life. Please show some love in the chat to Miss Andrea Evans-Dixon. Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And good. So for those of you that don't know, you know that I love connecting with the best of the best And I want to make sure you get some value today. So if you didn't know, my background is radio and television, and I transitioned, similar to Andrea, out of corporate America for time freedom. And now I help people build their businesses online and offline. I help you leverage and monetize social media. And so I have had the privilege of meeting people like this. And so we want to know how she is so successful, and how you can better your businesses with her experiences. And so our hope is to shorten your learning curve today. You ready for this?
You ready? I'm ready.
Right. So now that I've given them pretty much your accolades, did I miss anything?
No, you are
Okay.
spot on. Love it. Love it.
Okay. What an unbelievable story that is still being written, right?
Yes.
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 And we have similar interests. We're not striving to be a success, but rather to be of value to the world.
Right.
And I like the fact that she is putting out value. And so our first question would be, what can you tell my audience, the pretty people, about the habits that successful people do intentionally to elevate in life and in business? Can you tell us a few habits?
Well, Jerusha, let me just simply, first of all, just say thank you. I always want to be sure that I give honor and thank you, because it is a privilege always to be thought of and asked to share on someone else's platform. And so I don't take that for granted. So I want you to know that I appreciate all that you do. And I follow and hear and listen and all of that good stuff. And you put it down. Let me just tell you, you do exactly that. But let me just, in answering your question, first of all, I'm going to step into what being intentional is. What does that really mean? And I want people to understand that when you're wanting to be successful, add value, be on purpose, you must set out daily to do that. It's a daily renewal. I can't step into today using what I thought I was, using on yesterday, whether that's energy, whether that's, meals, whatever it is. My fitness that I did on yesterday doesn't help me today. I got to do something else today. So being intentional simply means that you step out on purpose from the onset of your day. That's what that means. And there are certain things that in life we just can't take for granted and wait for it to happen. So intentional also encompasses the proactive, go get them kind of attitude. Like, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to share three. If you want me to share three.
Yes.
I have several that are in a book. We can talk about that too down the line. But I highlight these three because they are very pivotal, really, in everything you do. And the first one, I'm just going to go right out of the gate. It's one that sometimes people must learn. It's time management. So if you're writing things down, you're taking notes, time management is the key. If you aren't managing time, it or someone else is managing you. It's just as simple as that. If you are not managing your time, prioritizing the tasks that you must do, and that's just not business tasks, that's everything that, is regular and rigid in your life, they must have priority. And if you're not doing it, I promise you someone else is doing it for you. You just may not want to acknowledge that, but somebody else is taking your time and doing what they want to do with it. And so I believe in kind of a triple D approach. There are things that sometimes you don't plan on occurring in your day, and you must know that those things happen. We live life. Life sometimes throws us curveballs. And so if you're managing time and something just happens to come in that you just didn't plan for, you've got three choices really. And they all start with D. One is to deal with it like it's truly an emergency. I truly need to put a pause on what my day was planned to be. And I got to deal with that. We all know what emergencies look like. I mean, I don't want to go into details. We're smart people. Right. We know what they look like. So we choose to deal with it. The other one is delegated. That's a learning curve. I will tell you, I had to go through the learning curve of delegation. It is one of those things that we fall into the trap that if we don't do it, it won't get done.
It's not going to be done right. That's right. It got to be how I want it to be. but you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
release it. You
yeah,
gotta
this
release it and
is
let
not
somebody else do it. Yeah.
right, right. But we must, successful people, intentionally living, purposeful people, understand how to delegate. And they may not do it for, all the things, but they know when this needs to go to someone else to help them with someone else. And then the other, you got deal with it, you got delegate it, and the third one is just delete it. Like, doesn't even need to come on my radar. It's not anything I need to, you just delete it. It's not for me, and move forward. And I think that when you do that, people will start to find that in their day, we all have the same 24 hours, but you're going to find that when you're utilizing your 24 to its best, you've done those three things when other things seem to pop in that are not planned, if you will. The second intentional category that I will say is key, and that is learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. It literally falls in line with time management, if you will.
Right.
No is a complete sentence, and saying no and being able, shall I say, to accept when someone tells us no. Those things separate you from the crowd. You have to not be in every place, everywhere, with everybody to live intentionally. And I call that sometimes you have to kind of go mute and underground. When things happen and they seem to surface, like people just all of a sudden understand, oh, that's what you've been doing. It's probably because you've said no. I've had to say no to people who want to invite me places or things that, other people think that I should be doing. No, I shouldn't be doing it. Doesn't fit with what I'm doing at the moment. And so I'm learning to say no and be okay with saying no. We cannot people please living intentionally. We just cannot do that. And the two oftentimes clash with each
Right.
other. And the third thing I'll share is learn to pivot. Pivot lessons 101, if you want to call it that. I think that we can all agree that the pandemic put us all in a different place. I don't want to get in all of that, but I do want to say that is kind of the visible version of us all having to do something different, no matter what walk of life, what business, what corporate position you had, no matter what, everybody had to do something different. And so when we are faced with crossroads, we've got to be unafraid to pivot. If it's not the direction we should be going in, don't be afraid to go to the left or the right, and try something different, because there's a lesson in that. And I think in my time as an entrepreneur, author, business strategist, I've had to learn, first of all, how to recognize when I should, but then most importantly, how to give direction to
Right.
others. And be unafraid to share. So if you're in that industry where where someone's asking you, you got to be unafraid to share with them. This, you might need to do this, try this. And I think, Jerusha, you and your line of work and helping people elevate their presence with social media, that probably was for a lot of people totally different than what they were used to doing. And if they were not used to being in the social media space, that was a learning curve, and they had to pivot and either learn it or fall behind, because social media doesn't wait on anyone.
Right. No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct. I had to
Yeah.
pivot because my first business was offline. So I completely agree. And I had to pivot
Yep.
and I needed to
Yep.
pivot quickly. And
Right.
so, yeah. And so social media isn't going anywhere. And
Right.
I just think
Right.
that if you're not utilizing this as a viable tool, then yes, you're right. You're going to get left behind. And so
Right.
that's not the goal.
Right.
That's
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. All right. So did y'all write this down? So she said, time, I took notes. Okay. So you're always a student. Come on now. So
Yes.
time is the number one, which I talk about all the time,
Hmm.
is maximizing your time. And then learning to say no to people because people tell you no, correct? Okay. Yes
Yeah.
or yes. And then number three, she said to pivot. And so we've got to learn to do all of those things so
Yeah.
that our day is intentional and our wins are on purpose. So you can't, be successful by accident. It's not, you're going to
Right.
have to work at it.
Right, right, right.
And so it's hard for some people with the time to develop habits with their time. I always tell people you're managing yourself. You can't kind of manage time. It's going to happen whether you do it or not. But
Right.
some people, that habit that you're talking about with time, they just don't know how to quite make themselves do what they need to go to their next level.
Right.
So I know this isn't one of the questions, but I wanted to ask, what do you do to keep yourself on task? I use an alarm. Like I
Right.
set alarms, like this is scheduled every Tuesday at 1:30. I do a lunch and learn. I'm done by 2. Like, so what tool do you use to keep your day on target?
Yep. I I would ditto that. I use an alarm for things that I know need to happen. Like this had to happen at 1:30. Just a reminder, make sure you're not, caught up doing something else and you get like, oh my gosh, it's almost 1:30. But the other thing that I do use, and this is just something that's meditational more so than an alarm itself,
Okay.
and that is when I start my morning, I look at my next day the night before.
Right.
But when I start my morning, when I'm into my office, if it's starting in my office, the first thing I'm doing is just looking at, okay, these are the 3, 4, whatever appointments, videos, whatever I've got to do. This is what I need to do. I also look at how does that look if someone were to call, where I kind of plan ahead, if you will, where if someone were to call and want me to do something or to book an appointment, where should that call be accepted? So that way I mentally know I should not be answering the phone between here and here because I'm I've already allotted that time
Right.
to something
Right.
else. So it's a combo of knowing what your day should look like going in. When I wake up and meditate, obviously I'm praying over my day. I want my day to, I do. Everybody wants their day to go as planned.
Right.
But I also look ahead and go, okay, if calls are coming in, where should I return those calls or accept those calls when they are coming in? And that really helps me, Jerusha, to stay on task so that I don't get sidetracked. Because it's easy to get sidetracked and we think we've got to respond to somebody who
Mm.
did something on Facebook. Someone inboxed us for
Right.
business. We think we need to respond right away. And that's usually not the case. So that's what helps me a lot is preparing by just knowing where and what are my top 2, 3. Usually there's, I'm going to say 3 things that must occur, and they're usually time stamped. And then I understand where other things can fit should they come into the day.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Did y'all catch this? Y'all getting all
Yeah.
these great goodness. I bring all the goodness. I know y'all excited. All right. So well, this is also what I want to know, Andrea. So what resources, like you said, you meditate, you pray, you get your day.
Mhm.
Okay. So that
Yeah.
means leaders are readers. Okay. And
Yes.
so elevate your mind and you elevate your world. So
Yeah.
I want to know, who do you listen to in a podcast, or
Yeah.
who do you read? What are you reading right now as a book? Or are you
Yeah.
attending a conference? You're a part of a conference that someone is speaking. Can you share that will help them on their journey to elevate their lives?
Yeah. I'm going to share a book that I read at least once a year, if not every other year. And I'm actually reading it again this year because I didn't read it in 2022. And that is, it's Joyce Meyer's Enjoying Where You Are on the Way to Where You're Going. And I read that book because it reminds me often of making sure that I stop and celebrate to where I am, even if I'm not yet where I want to be. We often get caught up in the we've got to keep moving and we got to, we sometimes people use that H word in the hustle. I'm not sure if it's the hustle. I just know that I never want to miss where I am because
Right.
that I'm here for a reason. And I think that if you miss that, I know for me, if I miss it, I'm unable to help someone else better appreciate
Right.
the journey, if
Right.
you will. We want to get to the mountaintop, but it's really the journey that defines who you
It
are.
really is.
It is,
You
yeah,
always want to be the lion that's climbing the hill. It's
right,
really is the journey. It really is.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
not heard that. Joyce Meyer's book. And tell me the name of the book again. Put somebody put it in the
Enjoying,
chat.
yeah, enjoying where you are on the way to where you're going.
Yeah, I tell people to celebrate, but I oftentimes, like you said, I get into work mode and I
Yeah.
don't celebrate the small wins. And that's
Right.
what you need. You have
You
to
need,
celebrate those small wins. It does make a
yeah.
difference in your day and
Yes.
your attitude. So
Yes.
I love that. So did you guys
Yes.
get that? And is there a podcaster that you enjoy, a business person that you follow?
Um,
And
do it other than you? No. But other than listening to you, and I don't even get to do all your 1/3. I sometimes have to catch that on the replay. But I don't have, like
a
somebody
person?
I
Okay,
just automatically say, okay, I gotta listen to that person. I
got it.
I just kind of let that flow. If someone that I hear and they recommend it or recommend someone, I may
Right.
tune in. But other than that, no. I hope that's not you know
It's not. It's I
taboo.
just wonder because I know
Okay.
it's so much audio out here. It's so much
Yes.
that is
Yes. Yes.
infiltrating our minds. I'm just wondering now. So let me ask you this. I know we
Yes.
both have to run. What is one thing that you've learned about building businesses,
Yeah.
being an author, and
Okay.
developing other entrepreneurs, into leadership roles that you would do differently? Because
Yeah.
we talk about successes, but there are people like, I'm struggling in this area. So what is one thing that you would do differently?
Yeah. If I were starting, I should say maybe going back a few pages back, what I would do differently is I would really more so allow when I'm working with someone, allow them to just simply be them. And here's what I mean by that. When people come to me or they want to write their story, they need strategic advice on how to build their business, start their business, grow their business. Um, I, pages back, would have just simply said, well, just tell me what you want to do. Let's just get to it. What do you want to do? What do you want to write out? And now I just simply go, tell me what it is that you hope to achieve.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, tell me, what is it that you hope to achieve? It allows me to hear from here for them versus kind of up here for me and them. Like, just tell me what
Right,
you want
right,
to do. But if I dig in and when I ask people, tell me what you want this story to do, or who is it that you want this story to reach, it allows them to truly, truly, authentically be them. Like, this, I'm doing this because of, and then that opens up the door. So I am less inclined to, rush to the end piece, if you will, but allow them to explore, okay, what will this really mean? Because if someone just says, I want to do this because I need extra money, well, that's could be true. I'm not
right.
knocking that. However, I do believe your money will come when you've added value and you found that what you're doing is going to be better for someone else, not for you. It's going to
Right.
be better for someone else. And so when we dig into that place, it allows me as their coach or me as their whatever strategist to just simply allow them to be them. And that place is where they truly bring forth great work.
But don't you think that comes with time and wisdom?
Yes,
Because
yes, yes.
because I
You
can
heard me
choose it
say
late.
a few pages back, it
Yeah,
wouldn't have been, that's for me.
yeah, no, for me too.
Yeah.
I am more of, I guess they would say, a D personality, or if you do the animals, I think I'm a,
Yeah.
a shark. Like, I'm like,
Oh,
let's get to the punch, let's go to work.
let's do
And
it.
I
Yeah.
don't get to, like you said, now I'm trying to do, like, you get to know the heart of the person. Like, why are you doing it?
Why? Right.
Because the why is what's going to drive you, right? The
Right.
reason is what's going to drive you.
Right.
Even though you're saying money, it's not really money.
It's not really
It's
money.
not really money. It's
Nope.
why. Why do you want the money? And
Right.
so most people like to get medicine for my parents. Most people are like to,
Right.
send my kids to college and be a first generation college
Right.
graduate. So that's really what you want. And most
Right.
people, when you ask them, they say, "Oh, money." No, no,
No.
it's not the
No.
money.
Yeah.
Something has to drive the heart.
Right. Right. It does. And when you think about it, and Drush, I think you'll agree as well, is that money will come and go. And money also will only motivate you so far.
Yeah.
When things are not, which in some cases, they're just not unveiling the way you would envision them to be, like you think you should have already had a thousand
Right.
dollars today. Um, you still have to have something in here that gets you up the next day and say, you know, I got to keep pressing because somebody needs what I have.
Right.
Somebody needs to hear what I am doing. Whatever that is, you have to have it. And it has to be deeper than the money. It can't be just about the money.
I
Although
totally
it's great.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just like twins over here. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but let me tell you, you handle it well. You've been assigned this mountain to show others it can be
Yeah.
moved. And I like that. And so
Yeah.
we want to make sure we value your time. Let me ask you this and I'll let you go. If you want, the pretty people, if you want to follow her, which platform do you live on? Which one do you like?
Yep.
That they can come find you. So where's your home? Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram, TikTok? Where are you?
Facebook and TikTok. Facebook first, TikTok second. Both at Successful Diva. My handle is Successful Diva on both.
Okay.
And then my business page is Elites Beyond Measure. I have a page and then obviously a private group. And
Right.
being amongst the private group is really where my nuggets come through.
Okay.
Ultimately, you can like the page, but certainly you want to be a part of that group. So Elites Beyond Measure group, private, or Inc. if you want to go to the page itself. My personal page is under Successful Diva.
Okay. So did y'all get that? So
Yeah,
please make sure that you follow. I said anything that my name is connected to, right?
yeah,
It has to be good. And so I want you to follow Andrea on her pages, follow her on Facebook. And of course, once you
yeah,
get there, you'll see she's a best-selling author as well. And so
yeah.
I'm excited for you. We're just delighted to have you in the Pretty People community. And
Thank
so
you.
I actually said, you know what? I want to show people that there are ways that you can utilize social media and become super successful. And I'm going to bring people to you that you can connect to so you can grow on social media. And
Right.
so just make sure that you follow this young lady right here. Yeah. I said, I got to connect with this one. So, yes,
Yeah.
if this was good for you, say thank you, Jerusha. Everybody show some love to Miss Coach Andrea in the building. Everybody show some love. They said, good interview. And look, beautiful black queens. Look at this.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you. Thank
successful
you.
diva. Yes, thank you so much. You look amazing too. So everybody's
You're
in the chat saying thank you so much. They love the interview.
welcome.
And of course, I would definitely want to say I appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted. Thank
Mhm.
you, girl, sister. I got
Yes,
you. We doing it.
thank you.
I see you
I
at the
love it.
top because
All
it's the
right.
bottom
You
that's
got it.
overcrowded. Have a great day.
Right. That's right.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye, guys. Hold on one second. All right, pretty people. I'm just thankful that grace and mercy follow me. I'm Jerusha, and I see you on the page.